Open up, it's the Realtor police. We've got some questions. I've got a dog that wants to know what's going on. Jackson, chill bro, chill, it's just a story. After 15 years of blogging about real estate, House Einstein is doing a newsletter. Why? Well, in a nutshell, we pissed off a few realtors and the Realtor police came a-knockin'. I'll tell you that story, but first let me tell you what Fresh Listings are all about. Here's what it contains: a quick update on market conditions and an update on what's going on with the House Einstein team. But very quickly, we're going to jump into the heart of the newsletter, and that's fresh listings and notable sales. With fresh listings, these are newly listed properties that we think are worth your time to pay attention to. Whether it's the price range, location, neighborhood, the goal is to help educate you on market conditions so that you can make a smarter real estate decision. I'll specifically dive into aspects of the property that I think are important to understand. And these can be location-specific factors. They can be whether the property appears to be underpriced or overpriced relative to its competition. They can be about the layout, or about specific due diligence concerns with the neighborhood or the specific location within the neighborhood. With notable sales, we're talking about recently closed transactions. And I'll tell you whether it sold for more than list or less than list, whether it was a cash deal with a short closing, whether it appears to have gone under contract multiple times, or was grossly overpriced from the beginning and ultimately sold for far less than it probably would have had it been priced correctly from the start. Again, the goal here is to help educate you as a buyer or seller so that you can make a smarter real estate decision. Our goal at House Einstein ultimately is by sharing this information, we build a more trusted relationship, and when it comes time for you to buy or sell, you give us a call and give us an opportunity to earn that business. Here's what the House Einstein newsletter does not contain and will never contain. We're not selling you. We're not encouraging you to buy these listings, although we might encourage you to go take a look at them because you have to be in it, in the game of seeing property to make an intelligent decision, especially given the dollar numbers that most of these homes are selling for. It's critical to see property. So we will encourage you to see it, but we're not selling you on why you should go out there and absolutely buy it. You also won't get a bunch of spam in your inbox from House Einstein. That's not our goal. In fact, we won't even reach out to you unless you specifically ask us to do so when you sign up. So that's it. That's what's in the House Einstein newsletter. And if you're interested in signing up, there's a link at the bottom of this video to our sign up page. And it's really easy to find us otherwise. If you can't find that link, just Google House Einstein, Boulder or Denver, and you'll find us. And that's it. So now here's the story I promised you on the day that the Realtor police came a-knockin'. Open up, it's the Realtor police. We've got some questions. I've got a dog that wants to know what's going on. Jackson, chill bro, chill, it's just a story. And this story is about the day the Realtor police came a-knockin'. For years, I had written about the most recent listings on our blog. And I had framed any concerns we had with price or marketing or other factors with the property as due diligence. So rather than come out and say, boy, I think this property is overpriced and the seller is out of their mind, I would write, buyers are well advised to consider the comparable sales, and I would provide a link to those comparable sales so that it would accomplish the same thing. Hopefully the buyer would click that link and realize this list price doesn't make any sense. Well, all of that was well and good for many years until one day a Boulder seller saw what we had written about their new listing and was quite concerned and upset that we had framed this as overpriced, even though we had pointed out the comps. And they called their realtor. And the realtor called the realtor police, which in this case is the MLS itself. Now, when the president of the MLS wants to talk to you, you take their call. And I wasn't expecting to have to defend our entire business model, but that's what happened. And I explained to her that our business is built on advising our clients to make smart decisions, and we really want them to understand what's right and wrong about particular listings so that they're educated. And she said, all of that's well and good, but you're marketing these listings. And I said, no, we're not. We're being critical about these listings. It's fair use. And this conversation went on. And ultimately she said, it may be fair use, but you're in the club. And as a member of the club, if you'd like to use our links and continue to have access to our services, well, you're gonna have to change how you do this. And the compromise we reached was that I could continue to write about new listings to hit the market if I shared them with our clients and prospective clients privately. But I'm not allowed, in her words, to paint a billboard on the side of the highway about any particular listing. So that's what I've done. Since that time, fresh listings are only in our newsletter. That's the only place I talk about actively marketed listings, and the gloves are off. I no longer have to frame it as due diligence. I can come right out and say, boy, this price makes no sense. And I don't have to worry about upsetting the seller, although I still think about upsetting, of course, our colleagues. We do a lot of business with many of the same realtors over and over again, so we do still tend to be a little on the polite side. I don't usually come out and say the seller's out of their mind with this list price, but I will share with you very clearly what I think about the price, the location, the property's use, and its potential, which is a key component of the property's value. That's what I feel is my highest and best service to you as a reader of our newsletter, and hopefully eventually someone who might consider using my company, our company here at House Einstein, to represent you in buying or selling real estate. And since that time, I occasionally get an upset realtor who has an upset client who calls the realtor police, and they come a-knocking, and I tell them, this is a private newsletter. It is labeled private newsletter at the top. I can't control if someone forwards this email to someone else, but these are people that have actively asked for our opinion about listings, and that's what we give them week after week. And if someone has gotten this and they're upset, I'm sorry. I'm still willing to look at it, and maybe we can apologize if it's something that's over the top, but usually that's enough to satisfy the realtor police that we are not in violation of the two boundaries for what we can do. We are not publicly allowed to market other people's listings, and we are not publicly allowed to disparage other real estate agents' listings. That's how it is in the real estate industry. And I'm Osman with House Einstein. If you'd like our newsletter, you can see where to sign up for it. And as always, I really would love your feedback, whether you like it or you hate it. And if you're a realtor and you want us to take a look at your listing, this happens quite often, you want us to look at your listing before it comes to market, we're happy to do so, especially if you think you have something very unique and special that's worth highlighting. All right, we'll catch you next time.
You would never call the realtor police, would you? You would never call them. And if they came knocking, you would tell them to come back with a warrant.